Hello, my name is Natalie Dueñas, and I will be doing a presentation on my history class 1302. My title will be Who Caused World War I? Three Key Interpretations and the Ongoing Historical Debate. World War I is one of the most significant and debated conflicts now in modern history. Although it began in 1914, historians still disagree about what truly actually caused it. Some scholars emphasize long-term structural tensions such as alliances and militarism, while others focus on the role of individual countries, particularly Germany, is in escalating the conflict. In this presentation, I will examine three major interpretations of the causes of World War I: the alliance system and chain reaction, militarism and war planning, and German responsibility. I will also be explaining why historians continue to debate these causes, highlighting the complexity of historical dynamics that led to war. In section 1, alliances and chain reaction. One major interpretation is that World War I resulted from the alliance system, which created a chain reaction that rapidly escalated a regional conflict into a global war. Before 1914, Europe was divided into two main alliances blocks. The Triple Alliance included Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy, while the Triple Entity included France, Russia, and Great Britain. These alliances were designed for mutual defense, but they also increased tension, suspicion, and the risk of a large-scale conflict. The immediate trigger of the war was the Archduke Franz Ferdinand assassination in June 1914. After that, following the assassination, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia demonstrating its role as protector of Slavic nations in the Balkans. Germany responded by declaring war on Russia on August the 1st and on France on August the 3rd. Germany then invaded Belgium as part of its military strategy, which led Great Britain to declare war on August the 4th. Historians who support this interpretation argue that once the alliance system was activated, leaders lost control of the situation completely, or almost completely. The system of mutual defense transformed the localized Balkan conflict into a continental and eventually global war. This interpretation highlights how interconnected alliances and diplomatic commitments made large-scale war increasingly likely. In section 2, militarism and war planning. A second major interpretation focuses on militarism and the role of war planning in causing World War I. In the years leading up to 1914, European powers engaged in an intense arms race. For example, Germany and Great Britain competed to build the strongest navy, increasing tensions between them. Military leaders gained significant influence in political decision-making, and many believed that war was inevitable. One of the most important examples is Germany's Schlieffen Plan. This plan was designed to prevent a two-front war by quickly defeating France in the west before turning to fight Russia in the east. However, the plan depended on a rapid invasion through Belgium, a neutral country. This violation of Belgian neutrality brought Great Britain into the war. At the same time, Russia implemented a large-scale mobilization of its army because Military timetables were rigid and required precise coordination. When mobilization began, it was extremely difficult to stop without risking military disadvantage. Historians who support this interpretation argue that these rigid military plans support this interpretation. Historians who support this interpretation argue that these rigid military plans and the pressure to act quickly limited the possibility of diplomacy. Political leaders were often contained by military strategies which made escalation most likely. This interpretation suggests that the structure of militarism itself played a critical role in causing most of the war. In section 2, I will be talking about German responsibility. A third interpretation places significant responsibility on Germany for the outbreak of World War I. In July 1914, Germany provided Austria-Hungary with what historians call a blank check, offering unconditional support for any action taken against Serbia. This assurance encouraged Austria-Hungary to take a more aggressive stance, increasing the likelihood of war. Germany's leadership under Kaiser Wilhelm II pursued a policy known as Weltpolitik, which aimed to expand German influence and power on a global scale. At the same time, German leaders feared encirclement by France and Russia, which contributed to a more aggressive and defensive mindset coming from them. Germany's decision to declare war on Russia and France, especially its invasion of Belgium, significantly escalated to conflict. These actions transformed a regional war into a broader European war. Some historians, particularly those influenced by the Treaty of Versailles, argue that Germany bears primary responsibility for the war due to its aggressive policies and decisions that they took. However, other scholars argue that Germany was acting within a larger system of alliances and mutual suspicion, and therefore responsibility should be shared among multiple countries. This interpretation remains one of the most debated in historical scholars. In section 4, I will be talking about why historians still debate. Historians continue to debate the causes of World War I because the conflicts resulted from a complex interaction of multiple factors. These include long-term causes such as nationalism, imperial competition, and alliance system, as well as short-term causes like the decisions made during the July crisis of 1914, and different historians prioritize different factors. Some emphasize structural forces like militarism and alliances, while others focus on individual leaders and political decisions. In addition, new historical evidence and changing perspectives traveled to reinterpretations over time. National perspectives can also influence how historians assign responsibility. Because of this complexity, there is no single universally accepted explanation for the origins of World War I. To conclude this presentation today, World War I was not caused by a single event or nation, but by the interaction of multiple factors. The alliance systems created by the conditions for rapid escalation, militarism, and war planning made conflicts more likely. And Germany's actions Germany's actions played a likely role or a key role in intensifying the crisis, while the Archduke Franz Ferdinand assassination served as the immediate trigger. The underlying tensions in Europe made increasingly a large scale war increasingly probable. The continued debate among historians reflects the complexity of these causes and the challenges of assigning responsibility in such a multi multi-faced conflict. Thank you.